Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Oh, shit.
All right. Hello.
Hi. Hi there. Sorry.
Jesus.
It's early.
Oh, my God. You are a morning person.
I know.
I'm the one who can't even think straight. It took me so long to even figure out how to open this app.
Oh, God.
I'm Jen McCabe. I don't know how to open an app. I'm Selene Castrovilla.
I'm Pascal. Oh, Pascal.
Yeah. The last time the transcribe thing said, I'm Pesco.
Pesco for short.
That's right. And Bean is pacing the floor.
Yeah.
And this is Life in Jest, the podcast that is confused today.
Yeah, it's already a weird day, and it hasn't even begun yet.
What happened?
I don't know. You ever have one of those days where nothing particular happens, but it's kind of off?
Yeah, I do know. But it's so early. Turn it around. That's what they always tell you. They say, turn that day around.
Well, I've got doctor's appointments, so I don't think that's really going to turn around.
Well, doctor appointments can be fun.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
It's, the old lady checks. Everything is old lady checks at this point.
What?
Checks.
I thought you said old lady chicks. I'm like,
No.
where are they? You're not an old lady.
I feel like it because I go to every doctor under the sun.
Well, that's these people told you to go to them. Maybe you don't even need them.
But no, I'm going to give you people too much fucking information.
Oh dear.
I have nodules on my thyroid.
Oh yeah.
So this is my yearly check to measure them to make sure they're not,
okay,
large or larger.
Right. All right.
Stuff like that. It's nothing big.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
Yeah. Well, bring a book or something. Well, you can't do that while you're getting it checked, but in the waiting room.
Oh, I have books on my phone.
There you go. It's going to be a great day. No, I'm your positivity coach.
Yeah.
That's what I'm known for.
And I'm really known for being positive.
I did write a book called 10 Steps to Finding Happy.
Yeah.
Number 1 is choose to be happy.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I mean, it's not that simple, but it's a whole step. There's a lot to do, but that is the idea of it.
I'm not sure. So if you're not watching, my eyes are rolling.
All right. Well, at least I didn't write.
No, it's nice.
I didn't write some obnoxious thing about black magic.
Yes, I'm reading quite the interesting book. It's very new agey, and I am like the opposite of new age.
I don't like when they make it all convoluted because I feel like it could just be simply said.
Right. Like I said, I was saying to you before, the points are good. It's just digging them out of the nonsense.
Why do we need the nonsense? We don't. Maybe to fill pages because it would have been like 2 pages.
Do better.
Is that what it said? Is that what
no? There's
what is the
whatever.
ultimate? Can we say the name of the book?
I don't know.
It's the 4. She's reading the 4. Did you read it already?
No, I'm almost done with it.
The 4 agreements. Well, see, I don't have patience for that. If I see something's gobbledygook, I'm like, goodbye.
No, it's like it's not very long, so I'll hang in there. Like I said, he has good points. The 4 agreements I agree with.
But what is the ultimate takeaway from the book?
That you make these 4 agreements.
With who?
Yourself.
See, you say things to me? If I said to you, Pascal, I want you to make 4 agreements.
No, he tells you 4 agreements to make with yourself.
And are these things that would never have occurred to you?
No. Sometimes I don't. I was saying to you before, like, we all know what we're supposed to do. But applying that to real life is very difficult.
Yeah, but a lot of times, A, we don't think about it.
Yeah.
And B, want more. We don't want it badly enough, so we want instant gratification with something else. We don't want to do. We don't.
Yes.
You got to do the work. You got to do the work.
Like Dr. Now says.
That's right.
Anyway.
So yeah, well, I don't like that when people do that. They like it just bothers me. These things were said by the philosophers, and they were well said. Like I forget the name of the guy, but he said, "All know the way, few walk it." That's simple.
Yeah.
Right. So take your 4 agreements and shove them up. I really don't like it when people have bestsellers over that stuff. Gobbledygook. Okay, so today we're doing a pop-up episode of more follow-up fun with the Karen Reed trial because there's a lot to say.
Good times.
And I sent it to you, but you said no.
It was 3 hours. I was like, okay. Nobody has time for that.
Yeah, you do. Like just when you're driving.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
Okay. Well, I did. It's fascinating.
I watched shorter YouTubes. I put in, give me the highlights. And then I read some articles. I did a quick.
Okay.
I
don't watch anything because I'm always driving, so I just listen, So Jen McCabe is the one that she's the main antagonist, I guess we would call her.
Yes.
And she's the one that famously had the Google search for how long to die in cold, which she deleted. And now claims she has no idea how to do anything on her phone.
Yeah, and she says that she didn't do it at that time.
Right. Well, that she said that she did it when they'd already found John's body, and Karen was pulling at her sleeve, begging her, as though is Jen McCabe the only person that knows how to Google? No. So why would Karen have to beg her?
Kind of like if she's freaking out, maybe.
Oh, but it is just absurd.
I don't believe her.
But I mean, it's just she goes to such great lengths to show Karen's unstable emotions. Okay,
unstable. She just found her boyfriend dead in the snow. Why?
Right, but she's trying to make it like
that she
did it. And she's just like she's just so Machiavellian. I think she's like really gaslighting poor Karen and gaslighting us, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
This is a terrible witness because, well, to me, I think under cross, she just didn't do well at all because she refuses to admit anything, really.
Yeah.
And it makes her look bad.
I have to tell you, my impression of her, and this is going to sound really douchey, but this is what I thought. She reminded me of every PTA mom that I hated and avoided.
She is like that, but the phony ones.
Yes. Yeah. You know what the ones I'm talking about, the ones that you're like, oh, no, I don't want any of that.
Yeah. Just and this is how we do it.
Yes. And they're they power trip over being in the PTA.
So we're going to spend the whole meeting, 2 hours, trying to pick a photographer for the school pictures. When there was nothing wrong with the last one.
I just yes, it's a certain type of person,
and when the pictures always look the same anyway, no matter what you do,
they really.
It's just a photographer. What magic could they be performing?
Because these women, I guess, they have nothing going on in their lives.
I don't get it, but anyway, she is like that, and so she was in the house, and she's basically the spokesperson for all those people.
I have to tell you, once again,
she's a yenta.
If that Karen did it, which I don't think, but whatever, I'm willing to, look at both. Everything the other people did was shady as fuck. So they're up to something.
Well, I know it doesn't make sense. What are they trying to cover? Well, there's a few things I really want to bring up about her. So I call her Jen McCabe. And I picture her like a little crab. So she has a great recollection when it comes to Karen acting irrationally and constantly screaming. She's
but she didn't have a great recollection about other things.
That's what I'm going to say. She cannot recollect anything about statements she made that she's now contradicting.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to see the report, and I don't know. It's somebody on TikTok did a really funny thing. She was, they act out the person, she's like, oh, I have to see the report on, I don't know. I have to see the report. Oh, Karen. What's Karen's favorite color? Her favorite color is red. The color of John's blood. And of course her favorite color is red because John hated red.
Oh my God.
It's funny. It's true though. She's so definitive on anything that incriminates Karen.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing that I picked up on, I have crazy scribbled notes here because, like, while I'm driving at a red light, I'm like, da, 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 I scribbled it down.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm looking right at it and I'm not getting everything.
No, of course you're not. You're not meant to. I'm supposed to talk. Remember, I tell you things.
Okay.
That's good. Oh, you finally what is it called? I can't think of the word. Not you're defeated, but that's not the word.
Wow.
You know, the word is
and
when
good day to you as well.
when you throw something, you're stymied. I can't think of the word. I'm drinking tea instead of coffee because coffee's like, first of all, it's too confusing to try to make it, and second of all, it kind of messes with my stomach a bit.
Coffee, yeah.
So, but the tea is not really doing it. So I'm like, I can't think of my words. But anyway, because it's a roadblock because I don't want you to look at my notes.
Okay.
But you always do.
I know, but they're right there. They're in my eye.
Oh, stop it. They're across from me.
I'm facing this way. That is exactly what I'm looking at.
Look at the Shakespeare candle you bought me.
Okay.
There he is.
Now I just look like I'm looking off into
all right.
space.
No, but look at something else. I don't know. Okay.
I know, but then I'd have to look at me. That's awful.
Oh, my God. Now we've come to the crux. This has been therapy with Selena Castro. Should I show you little videos on my phone? Little fun videos. All right. The first big thing was the taillight. She's now insisting that it was cracked, but with missing pieces in it. This is her testimony. She's very adamant because it's funny how that goes along with what Michael Proctor said later. Once he got possession of the car, all of a sudden there were missing pieces. No one said a word about missing pieces until after he took possession of the car.
Yeah. And
so
isn't there a video of her breaking the taillight, like she's pulling out of where she lives?
No,
and it
was John's house, but she was leaving John's house that morning.
Yeah, but doesn't she hit a car with that taillight?
Yeah, but I don't think you can see the taillight.
No, you can't see the taillight, but you can see that she hits something.
Yeah, but they're saying, well, they're probably in their nefarious minds, they're saying she did it to cover up the other thing, you know. But then she was calling attention to it. She's like, look at my broken taillight. Do you think I hit him? I mean, do people do that?
She has not done herself any favors through this whole thing.
No, he keeps putting up those videos where she's trying to explain why she said I hit him, and then she just digs herself a deeper hole.
Yes.
Stop doing interviews. It's too late now. But she should, I mean, I don't know why her lawyers were chill with that.
I don't know.
So Jackson is so good at these crosses, you know, and she kept saying it was cracked with little pieces missing. And he said, okay, but this is not your prior testimony. I don't recall my prior testimony. And he shows it to her. She goes, well, I don't know. This is not complete. And then he's like, well, you told Michael Proctor in an interview that the taillight was cracked with little pieces missing out of it. He goes, please don't finish my sentence.
Oh.
And he said, no, you just said it was cracked. Michael Proctor didn't write down that you said there were missing pieces. Well, I guess he missed it. Oh, Michael Proctor, the cop that was doing this interview, missed one of the most crucial things that you could be saying. He missed that. When this is the guy that is out to get Karen. Like, he's looking for the reasons. I don't think he's going to miss that. So she just kept going on. She would just refuse to say that all she said it was cracked. Like, in the defiant in the face of everything.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I said it. Maybe I said it another time on the phone to him. I don't know, but I said it. Okay. So she just kept going on. And it's just ridiculous because, you know, Proctor got that right because he's like one of those Salem witch hunt guys against the witch. And his name is Proctor. I think that was one of their names. Goody Proctor or something. Wasn't it Goody Proctor? I think that might have been someone that was a witch. Accused.
Oh, you know, I have a quote about witches. I'm going to use that later.
She sparred with Jackson about this for a while. He said, Miss McCabe, we could do this all day. And the judge was like, no, you're not.
No, you can't.
That judge has no patience for this stuff. But it's kind of funny, though. A lot of times the judge will say, move on. And I really think there's a point to be made. I don't think that's nice.
Oh, I'm a move on kind of person.
Yeah, but now, someone's life is hanging
up.
Yeah, but you can't wrap it up when someone's life is hanging. He has a right to continue the point, I think. I see that's, if she got convicted, I would say that would be grounded for appeal. That she just kept making me move on. I couldn't make my point. And also, they only have an hour to do their closing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't understand that. In other places, you could just blab on. Yeah.
I don't know.
That other guy, the last time, got caught in mid-sentence, the prosecutor.
Oh, God.
He was just blah, blah, blah. Apparently, somebody doesn't know how to practice with a timer.
No.
What a prosecutor. Anyway, so it's just so funny that she's talking about things she said to Michael Proctor, who was the man that got fired for hating Karen so much. So obviously, he would have taken complete note of that. If she said that, he would have. And more likely, you would think that he would add that to his notes, once he did the taillight thing. Because I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say it, but it's suspected that he is the one that broke the taillight more. That's basically what they say.
Would you really be shocked?
No, I'm not shocked. I think it makes more sense. There's no evidence of what that taillight looked before. Nobody took any pictures of the taillight before Michael Proctor came on the case.
You know how I feel about this. Everything that happened is so fucked up. I can't believe they're trying her at all.
Okay, well, we're going to get to one of your favorite things, but let's continue.
Favorite things.
Yes, you've spoken about this, but so
I don't ever remember what I said, so
you'll remember.
All new
you
to
said
me.
this several times. Maybe not always on the podcast, but to me, you've said it. So
interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought it was really funny, and even he thought he finally got her to admit it. So you said that the taillight was cracked. And then she just smiles and goes, with little pieces missing from it. And the point was making that she's a complete liar. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Okay, this is my favorite part because it proves that these people were no friends of John. Okay? What?
I was just, I wanted to know where I put my keys, but then I bring them inside.
I thought that it was something important they were looking over.
No. I always feel like I might have left my keys in my car, but
no, the dog tripped on them.
Oh, right.
The dog's paw got caught in your teeth.
Yes, I forgot.
Okay. So she had a text chain with her sister, her husband, and Brian Albert. Yeah. Her husband's McCabe. And then her sister, who was also there that night.
Yeah. And
Jackson put up a thing of the texts, and it was really slow because every time he would, who's this now? Who's this now? And then it had to be identified each time. First, she had to look at the text and say it was a thing. Then she had to identify other people, and it just took forever. But they were talking. Apparently, someone was being interviewed, I think, by the media, and I think Kerry Roberts was being interviewed by the media. Now, Kerry Roberts is the other woman. She was a very close friend of John. Like the kids are all close, and so she's an outsider. She's an outsider she's not part of the group,
right?
They met really. That they might have met once before socially, I think, but I think that's what Kerry said. But they really, Kerry and Jen, Kerry felt that they bonded, but I think that Jen was kind of using her,
maybe.
Yeah, but and they think, well, I think that her true colors really come out here, but especially about John. So Kerry apparently liked to really speak to the media and they tell the whole story. And they liked it because Kerry and Jen had sat together and made a timeline of what happened that morning.
Okay.
But when you sit together and you're not each using your own recollections, it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that Jen was taking advantage of that and planting the stuff in and then making Kerry think as though she remembered it too.
Yeah, that's entirely
And so when
possible.
she was going on and she was telling every detail, and so one of the things they said in the group thing was like, this girl could write a book with this stuff, like she's going on and on. And Jen says, I love it.
Wow.
Because I think she's carrying out what she wants. Yeah. But that's not even the worst thing. Okay. One of them said, I don't know why they said this. I don't know if they were telling about tell Kerry this, or I think one of them might have been saying to another one that was going to go on the camera next. I think that's what it was. I think Kerry was in the house with Jen and her husband, and she was being interviewed, and then they were going to be interviewed also. So someone else said, this is what they said: tell them the guy never came in the house. The guy? This is how you talk about your dear friend that you cared so much about that's now dead?
Wow.
The guy.
That's terrible.
I think that speaks volumes. The guy. Suddenly he doesn't even have a name. Wouldn't you say, tell them John never came in?
Yeah, that's very sad.
Yeah. So I believe anybody that would say, tell them the guy never came in, so would be capable of dumping him out onto the street, because they just completely dehumanized him. Yeah, it's like a facade is lifted, And Jackson didn't mention this at the time, but I think maybe because when you start prying in too hard, they always object and stuff. So maybe he'll say something about it in the closing or later on. I don't know, but I mean, seriously, this and that stuff's in evidence.
Yeah.
So that spoke volumes to me.
Why are they all doing interviews? I mean, it's not done yet. Why is everybody doing interviews?
Oh, this was like within a couple of days.
I don't get that. I just keep your mouth shut until it's all done.
Well, Kerry Roberts was doing a lot. I think maybe it was helping her process her grief too, to tell it, because I think Kerry was really, really. I know.
Yeah. I personally would keep it to myself until everything was over. I mean, and then
but you don't know what happens in that situation either, though.
I guess that's true.
But I do think Kerry was genuinely grieving and just wanted to share it. I remember when that happened with Casey, I really needed to tell people. I wasn't telling the media. I mean, I would have, because I wanted the doctor, but to get in trouble. But I really couldn't stop. I needed to talk to people, and my son was just like, he didn't want me to talk to people. He didn't want to hear it.
I think I'm kind of on his page. When something happens, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, maybe later, but not at first.
Everybody's
different.
You just don't know how you're going to react, really.
Right.
But these people, I think, were really plotting in the text chain. They were consulting each other. What's the news? What happened? This and that. Da, da, da. And it's so clear that something's going on beyond just caring about what happened to John, particularly when he's just the guy now. And they're really worried about something, and they want to know. They want to keep up on all the details. It's very obvious. So that was interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so then they started talking about her Google search. She said she was Googling some sort of a Army Navy store where you buy sports equipment and stuff for her kid for the sports. I don't know, something to that effect. So then he said, so at 2 something, you Googled, and she interrupts him. She goes, well, I don't know if it was Google. He goes, what?
Okay.
She goes, well, that's a term. I don't know. Like it could have been a different. He goes, do you use different search engines? She goes, what's a search engine?
Oh, wow. All right.
And then he said something about a browser. She goes, what's a browser? All of a sudden, she's forgotten everything.
That is, wow. That's so stupid.
Is it deflecting? Is it just like hoping, like, if I act really stupid, he'll go away? Will he walk away?
Yeah. I mean, isn't that something that most people know?
Right. And it's absurd because especially because she was using these things.
Yeah. It's just, she's full of shit.
But I mean, arguing whether it was Google, what were you using? DuckDuckGo because you're shady as shit?
Right. Who cares? I mean, like, really?
They should have been using DuckDuckGo. Honestly, that would have helped them.
I don't think anybody in any of these people, including Karen, I don't think anybody thought anything out at all.
Well, no.
I mean, maybe later.
Well, they didn't think it. I mean, I don't think anybody meant to kill him. It wasn't, it wasn't like a first degree thing. But yeah, their things are stupid. But do you know that they can retrieve your messages even from WhatsApp? I thought that was encrypted.
I have no idea. I don't have WhatsApp.
Well, I use it because when Michael was abroad, it's free and you can text, at the time. Now you can text a lot of places anyway with your phone, but at the time you couldn't. But a lot of people criminals use it because it's supposed to be untraceable, but apparently
That's not.
Even when you erase them, they come back. They can get them, but they're a little garbled, but you can get the gist of it.
Oh.
But this wasn't in this case. It was a different case I was listening to.
Oh.
But yeah. So watch out. What's up, people?
But don't write anything down, you big dummies.
Well, they're criminals. Well, in that case, they have to communicate somehow. What are you going to do?
Carrier pigeon?
That could be intercepted. You don't know. Okay, so between 12:19 and 12:50, she has unexplained calls to John O'Keefe. She said she was completely unaware of them. 7? I mean, I can understand. We all make one call sometimes, right? But 7?
I know this is going to be ridiculous, but I did have this happened in my car though. My phone was plugged into the car.
Your car made calls?
It kept calling the same person over and over again.
And you were unaware of this happening?
Oh, I was aware of it.
Okay, I can understand something happening like that. I can't understand you being unaware of it.
I was aware of it because it was on my car screen. So if your phone did that,
I'm
not saying that.
And how could her phone's not going to just do it? Like, no, it's sitting there.
It's very
your
unlikely.
Phone in a car. The systems are running.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure that.
Are you working for the prosecutor here?
No, I'm just saying. I don't believe her.
She sounds like she's one of those jurors.
No, I don't believe her, but I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but it was alternate. What she's like. One time she said she was texting, and if you're texting, you definitely would know your phone's making calls. You're seeing it,
yes,
right? And then she said she was completely unaware. And then Jackson said, "Well, you'd have to be aware because at one point you would have had to have opened the phone call app." And she said,
"What's the phone call?
What is a phone call app?"
Okay. Scratch everything I said. That woman is clearly lying.
This is like the guy on Howard Stern. One time, the guy went out and pretended to be a foreigner, and he was asking people all those questions. He was like, "What is this? What is this? What is this? What is pizza? What is cheese? What is?"
Oh, I remember that.
It was so funny, but it's crazy. Okay, so then the biggest reveal, I think. Now, previously, like the week before, Carrie Roberts had testified to the grand jury that she saw Karen beg Jen to search for hypothermia. About dying of hypothermia.
I guess she didn't know how to spell hypothermia.
Well, don't make fun of her. She has MS. Yeah. And she says she has trouble. She says, but she's one of those, she's totally using it.
No,
because
it's true. Yeah. It causes cognitive.
Well, she said,
difficulty.
And all of us misspell things when we search things, to be honest. But she was making such a huge thing about it. I often mistype, like she says, she throws it in when no one's asking. Because she's trying to cover up for that thing. Yeah. Right. She's totally using that because you can't, there's no way, that's one thing no one's going to attack her on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I obviously.
Yeah. But she's.
Oh, I didn't know she had MS.
Yeah. Well, if you listen you would know because she goes on about it.
3 hours.
Okay. You could just listen to part of it. It was not, first of all, that included other testimony. That was her testimony was not 3 hours. But I don't think it was. So previously, Kerry had testified that she saw that she witnessed that to the grand jury. Testified. So this time she was so eager to take that back. Before Jackson even asked her, she goes, "I never saw her ask about Googling about the snow." She blurted it out.
Because she was probably like, "Oh shit, I can't do that."
Right. Because he goes, "Well, wait a minute. I didn't ask you anything about that." Hold on. We'll get there. And he'd said something, and Jen said, "There's nothing nefarious about that." He goes,
yeah, that I saw
Who
that.
said anything about nefarious? You're the one saying it.
And then she said it again.
She did. He has a stage voice. His voice projects. Yeah. I could see him in a production of The Music Man.
Yes.
That's why he's so much better than the other guy. The other guy's snappy. So she blurted that out. He goes, "No, wait." And he, of course, he built her up to that. And it was like, "So you lied." She's like, I misunderstood the question. But he said, well, why did you think this? She goes, well, because we did the timeline. He goes, oh, you see, so you thought it was there because she said it happened, so therefore it happened. She said, yeah, I just didn't really see it. So in other words, see, this is how Jen has been doing this.
Yeah.
And they made a huge deal of making this timeline together before they testified at the grand jury. Really, that is tampering with the witness.
I know, but Carrie probably didn't think anything about it. She probably thought she was being helpful. And
yeah, but wow, she was like, oh my God, I don't want to go to jail.
Right.
So when Jen was confronted with that, she is such a good liar. She's just like, yeah, Carrie had walked away when that happened. Like, she just rolled off her tongue. She is so good at lying.
Some people are good at lying.
Yeah. Jackson's like, now there's no one but you that says that you Googled at that time. And meanwhile, they're saying that the browser stayed open. I don't believe that. I have a browser that stays open for days. It doesn't say that I Googled it 3 days ago. I've never checked, but I'm sure it doesn't.
I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but once again, is it likely?
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
No.
Yeah, it's very strange. Oh, then this guy Gallagher testified. He was the first detective. He's the one that got your famous. What did they collect the evidence in?
Because what? That is absurd. That is fucking absurd. How is I know?
Say what it is.
Red Solo cups that you use for fucking beer pong, and bags from the supermarket.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Like, how is
why
that
didn't they have
allowed?
any? Why don't they have evidence stuff?
Right.
And you know where he got it? Across the street, the chief of detectives lived, and he got it from him.
I mean, how is any of that admissible? That is insane.
Well, that's what Jackson is saying.
Yeah, because any rational fucking person would say that.
Well, they're not sterile.
No.
And they're not, and they also, as Jackson pointed out many times, they were not covered.
No.
There's no evidence tape.
Right.
Coagulated blood was in these things.
Yeah.
They were in Solo cups in the grocery bag, not an evidence bag, but a grocery bag for 3 days before they got turned over to the criminologist.
I'm sorry. That is case closed to me. That's insane.
I don't know why they don't have evidence bags.
No.
Or anything. What's going on?
Call somebody and go get it.
They could have got, like, he just went across the street. You got any cups? Of course you have. Right. Of course, because all the cops are all playing beer pong. They definitely have.
What year is this? You don't have a phone?
But this is he had a phone.
Yeah, so call somebody. Call somebody to bring it to you. Like, how hard is that?
Apparently it's hard.
If it could sit in a bag for 3 days, why can't you wait 20 minutes for someone to come with somebody?
It's true, because it's not like the temperature was dropping and the snow was melting.
Right.
Yeah. And the blood would still be there anyway. It might dribble.
I don't know why that makes me insane.
Well, it's very
that is
unprofessional.
It is. And unprofessional, like you said before, when somebody's life is at stake. A man is dead. This woman is accused, and this is how they collect evidence. A man is dead. You're not doing him any justice by doing things wrong. That's terrible.
And there's been so many times, like, even they know from the training, but also there's so many cases where things get thrown out because the evidence was mishandled.
Exactly. Like I always say, if I make a mistake at work, I do office work. It can be fixed.
You made 100 mistakes.
1,000. But these are people. This is, people's lives. Like, you can't fuck up.
No kidding. Yeah. What they'll get an acquittal that way because you can't convict somebody when there's problems. You just can't. And I don't want them to. I mean, I would rather see someone guilty go free than an innocent person go to jail for their life.
Exactly.
You know?
And God forbid the person actually did it. Well, you're saying a guilty person, but you just fucked it up for that person.
Yeah. I don't know. They made a lot of mistakes. See, I use I don't know as a transitional.
Well, I use fuck a lot. So.
You certainly do. Okay, so this is very funny. So the guy lives across the street, and there was a big argument. Is it directly across or no? But he goes, but if you stood from his porch, if you turned around from the door, would you see? Oh, yes. So the guy had a camera on the door. And just as he had said, did you Google something? Jackson said, did you see the Ring camera? And he goes, it's not a Ring. It's not a Ring. It's an Arlo. So? And well, he goes on, and that's what Jackson's like, okay. And he did it like 3, and every time Jackson would still revert, because we all call them Ring cameras. That's just what we say.
Right.
It's like Googling. It's
like saying Kleenex.
Yeah. Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Kotex. I'm going a little gross there, but it's not necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a thing people say.
This guy didn't like it. Every time that Jackson said Ring, it's an Arlo. He doesn't just say that. He goes, that is incorrect. He says it's like he's taking the opportunity to try to make Jackson look like a fool.
By the way, have you ever heard of Arlo?
I haven't. But then it turned out that Gallagher has a blink.
Does anybody else think about the watermelon smashing guy?
What? Oh, Gallagher?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, but not.
That's just me. Okay.
But I never heard of Arlo, but I heard that Blink is like a cheaper version than Ring.
Okay.
So this guy has a Blink, so I'm gonna throw a little shade.
Wait, what?
He decided
you said Arlo.
No. The chief of police guy had Arlo, and Gallagher has a Blink. Well, he threw that in there. I guess he just wanted no credit to Ring whatsoever. The problem is that he never asked for the footage from that camera, and so Jackson's like, why didn't you ask for the footage? Because I spoke with whoever the guy's name is at length about this thing when we were buying them, and I know its limits. He goes, you know for sure that it can't capture across the street? But he had to finally say he didn't. But like he was acting like he was trying every excuse in the world that he didn't ask for this footage.
Once again, evidence.
He asked for solo cups, but he did not ask for the footage. I mean, they do that everywhere. Whenever there's a crime, they go to all the places and ask for the Ring camera. Yeah. Everywhere.
I know. A friend of mine, her neighbor went in her house and stole something, but she couldn't prove it. She knew it was her. Honestly, because she had a specific smell and she smelled it in her house.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
But the neighbor, money.
Oh my God.
The neighbor had
the
camera, and that's how she got caught.
Did she get arrested?
Yeah.
Holy moly. Where was this?
Can I really say?
Well, you can say the town, can't you?
Yeah, I guess Valley Stream.
Wow. Your own neighbor.
Yeah.
That's balls.
But thank God that the neighbor had a camera, and they're next door. I don't know how that camera caught her, but you never know.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
See?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, this guy...
You don't know the angle. You have to watch the footage.
Yeah, so Jackson's like, wouldn't it have been better if, we didn't just take your knowledge about these things and you could have just gotten the footage and we would have known.
Right.
And he's like, well, I don't feel that way. And then
you don't feel like you need to do
then
your job?
Jackson's like, because he claimed that the other guy had asked him to pick up packages when he was away. And he sent him pictures of the package on the porch.
Yeah.
So he said, well, that's as far as the camera goes. He goes, are you aware that on the app there's a button you hit for package and it zooms in closer, but then there's other ways? He goes, no. So then Jackson's like, well, it's gone now, isn't it? He goes, I don't know. He goes, so you know all about how the camera, where it would reach and this and that, but you don't know when the footage will be erased.
This whole thing is such a mess.
It's funny. I mean, it's a comedy of errors.
It really is.
But they're so concerned about things with Karen that they're so precise with, but everything else was just a big mess. Oh, he also didn't search the house, but he didn't have a search warrant, but he said he wouldn't have asked for a search warrant.
Right.
He kept saying that has nothing to do with what happened in the house. He's still saying it now. Like, I think there's enough evidence to at least check and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But so we don't know what they had in the house, and we never will. And he said, "Oh, by the way, when you walked in the house, did you see a dog?" And he said, "No.
That poor dog.
Dog is gone. The dog was already gone
Immediately.
No, I think maybe something happened with the dog that night.
Oh, yeah.
But where? Well, the dog must be dead.
Oh, you think the dog is dead?
Yeah, because you got rid of your dog in the middle of the night? No, the dog died.
Oh, I hope the dog didn't die.
Well, okay. There's no way that they got rid of that dog unless something happened with the dog. Because
I know, but one of their friends could have taken the dog home before they rehomed it. Maybe they just wanted to get it out of that house.
Why? What evidence was on the dog?
Clearly happened with the dog.
What was on the dog?
Who knows?
Was the dog? They don't? Oh my! In the future, that show Black
Mirror.
Yeah, I hate that show. In one particularly violent episode, horrible. Casey,
why are you watching?
Because Casey was wanting me to watch it, and he apologized. This is so horrible. But they had this thing where you put a camera somehow on a guy's head or something, and you can read their memories.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's creepy.
I'm going to be screwed in the future. But you could do it to animals too.
Oh,
so they could put on the dog.
All right, but
they don't have it yet. But it's horrible. It led to a whole family being murdered.
Oh my!
Because of that.
Oh
yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
So I lost my train of thought. It was such I hate that show. It's horrible. So the dog. If the dog did something happened with the dog. Okay, they're all scurrying around in the middle of the night. Then at 5-something in the morning, they find John. 5, 6, whatever it is, right before dawn. You're saying that in that time somehow they rehomed that dog.
Not rehomed it. Somebody might have taken the dog home in the meantime to get the dog out of there. Like there were other people.
No, because but those people like Jen McCabe definitely didn't have a dog in her house. Well, who had the dog?
Anybody.
Brian, do you think Brian Higgins took it to the Canton Police Department?
Who knows? I mean, it's very easy to move a dog. I would rather believe that than that
something happened to the dog, and that's somehow evidence.
I believe something happened with the dog, but I'm really hoping.
I want to know what could have happened with the dog. What could it be?
Who knows?
Because even if the dog, if the dog bit, why did the dog have to not be there anymore? I could see something happening with the dog, but why would the dog have to be gone? Because people still know the dog existed. So you're not hiding evidence in like, there was never a dog. We know there was a dog, right? So what did they gain by getting rid of the dog?
I don't know.
Nothing. What would the dog have? You can wash a dog so there's no blood on him. What could a dog have had? Nothing.
We will never know.
Well, do you think he had like a wound on him?
Something happened. Why would they
think
something
John
had to
shot
have
the
happened?
dog.
Oh my God.
To save it in self-defense.
Maybe.
There was also the kids that were there, and one of them did not get along with John. Maybe the kid told the dog to attack John. You know, I don't know why the dog had to be gone. That's the mystery. The dog had to have something on him. Maybe it was cuts and stuff. Maybe it was stuff from
obviously, because if they obviously
but why
got rid of the dog.
Rehome it, never come back again? The cuts don't heal?
I don't know.
Something very strange happened with the dog.
Oh, but once again, we will never know.
So where went the dog? Where hath the dog gone?
I don't know.
Interesting.
They didn't investigate. They said the dog was rehomed. They know where the dog went.
Maybe it's like when you give up your baby, you can't find out where the baby went.
All right.
I don't know.
I mean, when you know where your dog went?
No.
Couldn't you say?
No.
Like when I had to give up my cat, I gave the cat to you. I know where the fuck the cat is.
Yeah, but that's not an official thing.
What do you mean?
Well, we wouldn't say he was rehomed. You would just say.
But I knew where the cat went.
It's them. They make it sound like it's an official thing, and you can't find the dog.
How could you?
You can do that because people surrender their animals, and that's it.
Oh, you mean to a
or
shelter?
Yeah.
But you would still say, I brought the dog to Bida. We would have records of where the dog went.
Has anybody ever asked them these questions? Bida, we home at 6 a.m.
What I'm saying is, if it's that, that they didn't give the dog to someone they know, then it's traceable. There's no way.
Yeah. But I don't know what anyone's ever said about what specifically happened to the dog. I hope somebody testifies about that.
I hope so. I mean, because there's no way you wouldn't be able to trace where that dog went.
It doesn't make a sense.
No.
It doesn't make a sense. Well, I thought it was funny how he just threw that in. Did you see a dog?
That's poor dog.
And he said no. Okay. So there was a lot of stuff about nobody took a picture of the car. When the car came, when Karen's car was brought to the Canton Police Department, nobody thought to take a picture of it. And he was like, well, once John died, they were recused. It's like a rule that they couldn't investigate it. His own department.
Oh, makes yeah. Sense. Well, that does
actually make sense that they shouldn't really have been involved at all. So then who did do it? The troopers?
I don't know.
But he said, well, that was their thing. And apparently they didn't take a picture right away either. I don't know.
Of course.
Michael Proctor was the one that suddenly produced all this evidence. And all of a sudden there were broken taillight pieces in the snow that were not there the first time. Because they would have been in the solo cups. Right? This guy came after, I guess they had taken John's body, right? But nobody marked where John's body was because he said he was guessing where the body was when he went to go collect evidence. Wouldn't you put a marker?
They literally did everything wrong.
I can't imagine how you wouldn't mark the spot.
These are the same people who got the solo cups.
Oh, here's another thing. If John didn't go in the house, where the hell is his other shoe?
We shouldn't laugh about that. But
no, but I mean,
I don't know.
And then Jackson was like, well, don't you think you had cause to look in the house and look for the other shoe? And he said, well, I didn't know there was a shoe missing. He goes, how did you not know that? He goes, no one told me. He goes, don't you speak to each other? He also said he didn't know all the names of the people that were in the house. And he goes, well, why didn't you ask for that? He goes, well, then he got really mad. Like, so-and-so already did it. So then Jackson was like, well, why didn't you look at that list? It's like, oh, he did it. And that's, nobody needs to know. But I mean, if you really think about it, if a shoe is missing off somebody and you can't find it anywhere in the scene, where's the shoe?
They're the Keystone Cops. Nothing is going to make sense.
Probably has dog marks all over it.
Maybe it does.
Yeah.
Maybe it's with the dog.
Oh my God. The dog took the shoe. It's now his favorite toy.
Good Lord.
Imagine if they found that. Yes. The dog. Find the dog, find the shoe.
Right.
Maybe the dog ate the shoe.
Oh.
What kind of a shoe was it?
I don't know.
It was not that thick. He had a very light thing on. Maybe he had a very light shoe. Dogs do eat that stuff.
They do.
Oh my God. They had to get rid of the dog because the shoe was inside of it.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm not laughing at at the death. I'm laughing at the stupidity of these people trying to cover something up, and the fact that we should know where that dog is.
Of course.
They should have demanded to see the dog. I don't know if I would do that either, though. I mean, it's a dog. I would wonder why the dog wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that was Gallagher, and he definitely didn't like all these questions.
I don't think any of them liked them.
So then they had a guy that I frankly couldn't listen to this testimony. I had to hear a summary on Dateline Weekly Roundup. And he testified about the temperature of John's cell phone outside. Who cares? I mean, first of all, this is a science that I don't think it's a definite thing. Batteries are different and this and that. I don't think there's a precision here like with DNA or something, Second of all, it was confusing and boring.
Can they figure out how long he was out there from it?
The guy claimed he could, but it's really, I think it just, in the end, it confused everybody, and I don't think it was.
And
helpful.
They only had one guy?
How many guys do you want to testify about the temperature of a cell phone?
Do
you need more than one?
Because sometimes they get different experts and they have differing opinions.
Okay. You have a point. But that would be that would be when the defense goes up, they would have somebody else. Okay. They might, and I hope they're more interesting. Okay. But this this is just the prosecution's case.
Right.
So they're only going to have one that says what they want.
Yeah.
Right. Then they had the blood alcohol person going on and on and on. More boring. I mean, I'm sorry.
About her.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to throw in that maybe Karen had a drink when she got to John's. But I'm pretty sure she said she went right to sleep. But that is their thing. They just keep saying, well, she had another drink after. Da, 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 da. So they're trying to throw off the whole. And then, of course, all the calculations are invalid. I don't know what they're trying to prove here because everybody knows she was drunk. She admits it. Doesn't she?
I think so. I saw something or read something where she said she wasn't that bad.
That's ridiculous. I mean, she was
I
still...
wish I could remember where I saw that or read that.
Well, that's crazy. But you know what? They played... They played... One of those tapes was... in an interview, she goes, when John got out, he took my full vodka soda glass with him. I'm like, why would you say that?
While you're driving?
You admitted that you have this vodka soda while you're driving? Are you annoyed that he took your drink? What's your point here?
Where are they going that they could take it to go?
Well, you can't. Well, you can't get drinks to go now.
Oh, still?
Yes.
Like I know it started in the pandemic.
I deliver them. Yeah.
Like actual made drinks?
Yes. Like from a lot of people get from, that place, Fuma. We love it.
Oh, yes. Delicious.
Dirty Taco. A lot of people get drinks from there.
Oh, that is good to know.
Yeah, but don't get drinks. I like Dirty Taco, but don't waste your money. If you're not there, it's one thing to drink it while you're there, but they put so much ice and then they put so much other stuff.
Yeah.
I saw the cup before they put the icing because they're waiting for the ice because I guess, it might melt. So they put in one shot in this big cup. Then they put a bunch of the filler stuff and then the ice. And that's just like not even half the cup.
Yeah.
A solo cup. And then the rest is just ice. It's a waste.
Oh, yeah. That's why I always ask for very little ice.
Yeah. Well, when you get it to go, you really...
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Well, that's why during the pandemic, I would get frozen margaritas.
Yeah.
Because it's frozen. I mean, it's still got a lot of ice in it, but I feel like they were a little better.
I always like frozen margaritas anyway. But yeah, the answer is you can get these things, and they're not going to be in a glass cup like hers. They walked out of the bar with this stuff because they were a bunch of cops, so they're allowed to do what they want.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have hung out at the bar with cops. They're worse than everybody else.
Okay.
I'm not saying all cops.
No.
Because that's not right.
Right. But obviously the ones that don't drink aren't at the bar.
I mean, we were all getting very drunk and they gave us PBA cards. These are men that I literally just met at the bar that
PBA
night.
For all.
I was like, okay, that doesn't seem right, but all right.
Nice. Well, this is very funny. One episode of Modern Family, the father started drinking with Cam and Mitchell's friends. And
he
goes, oh my God. He had such a hangover. He's like, those gays. Wow. He's like, I thought cops could drink.
I remember that episode.
That's my go to sleep things right now.
Yeah, I've been doing that too with Modern Family.
Yeah. It's a good one to sleep with.
Yeah.
Because you know it, but you could still have fun.
Yeah.
It's a good one. We sound like those women on Capital One commercial.
Right. The ones from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know they were anybody famous. I thought they were boring as hell.
Oh, no.
They're famous?
That's the point.
They're so boring.
It was a skit on Saturday Night
they're
Live.
Like, oh, what's in your wallet? I have my blood type. I have my blood type too. It's fun.
Yeah, I think it's Molly Shannon, and I forget the other.
See, all this is wasted on me. I don't know who any of these people are.
No,
I don't know them.
Yeah.
Here's a recipe for meat.
Yeah, no, they're supposed to be like that.
Okay. Well, why is that good for Capital One?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I have Capital One, but I'm like, this is not making me want to use
Capital One too.
It doesn't make me want to use my card. It doesn't even say the fun things about the card.
Are there fun things?
Yes, that's the one where I get 2 points. It's like $2 for every dollar that are like points for my traveling.
Oh, I don't think I have that.
You got to get the Capital One Venture card.
Oh, I don't have
That's
the
best
card. I mean, I have JetBlue
What's
card.
In your wallet?
So the JetBlue card, I get.
I can
points.
do the commercial for them.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Well, but that I love because I love being able to go.
Oh yeah, last trip. I think the last trip we went on, I got discounted for all the points I had. It was actually a good chunk.
Yeah. That's why I use my Capital One for everything. I put everything on it, then I pay, it's just a continual, I never pay cash because why not get points? Why not use your money? If you have to spend it anyway, why not get something out of it? See, I'm doing a better commercial now for Capital One Venture Card than those women with the meat recipe. Am I right?
Yes.
And this has not been sponsored, but who knows? They might have a commercial. We had a bank commercial. It wasn't Capital One. Come on, Capital One.
Oh. All right.
We did.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
What's in your wallet? I really have to clean out my wallet. There's a lot of garbage in there.
I don't carry a wallet.
You don't? No. Well, you'd be very bad in that commercial.
I don't carry a wallet at all. I barely carry a purse. Is that what you call pocketbook? Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I almost never carry that either.
Okay.
Yeah, I just...
Okay. I have so many things that I carry for no reason.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely...
I just found pills in my purse that I stopped taking months ago. And I'm surprised it wasn't years, frankly.
I know. I have a whole bunch in my cabinet. I still have Paxlovid. I'm like, I'm never going to use that again.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not throwing it out.
Yeah, you don't like it?
No.
Well, there was a murder recently. It was covered on both. It was annoying because I heard it on 2020 and I was so excited there was a new Dateline. It was the same case. I was so angry. They did a different angle with it. It's interesting how you can take different things and do angles. So the woman got caught. She injected her husband with insulin. She got caught because they never searched the house until nobody thought it was a crime until like months and months later. They found the insulin in her refrigerator when they finally got a search. Why did she keep the insulin?
Because she's a dummy.
She wouldn't have been charged. That was the thing.
Yeah, she's. Thank God, these criminals are stupid. I mean, because they wouldn't get caught. Luckily, she's a dummy.
Is she so like, oh, I might need this one day?
Yeah, just in case.
I better keep this poison.
Maybe maybe there's another person I need to take out.
She claimed that she had it for the neighbor. She got it from the neighbors because the kid had diabetes. But why? They remember her asking for it that day. The whole thing fell apart.
Why would you give your child's insulin to somebody?
Okay. She said she needed it because she claimed she had some sort of lymphoma and she needed it for something involving her lymphoma. And she was a pharmacist, so they just believed.
There are so many suspicious things about that.
Yeah, nobody even thought about it. And then when the guy's like dying, nobody put that together that day. It took them a while.
I would never give somebody that kind of medication. And you're a pharmacist. Why can't you get it?
I think if you're going to kill your husband, you shouldn't ask somebody to borrow the thing that you're going to kill him with.
What?
And then she said she had it in her house for the kid in case he.
Why wouldn't you give it back?
Like,
they're next door.
No, he has a pump. we don't do that.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
God.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, that's the thing. Okay, so the blood alcohol can't be proven for many reasons, and even if she didn't drink, it still was. It's just not a perfect science, and I thought I guess they need to have all this stuff, but when they go on and on and on, I just don't think it helps the case.
Yeah.
And then they had a meteorologist, and I was just like, I just wrote,
why?
Really?
Because of the weather?
Well, who cares? We know it was a nor'easter. Can't we just accept that it was a nor'easter? Do we have to understand? Do we have to know why?
There's Google. I mean, I know that one lady.
Are you sure it's Google? What's Google? I never heard of that.
Right. She can't look it up, but the rest of us can.
What could this guy have to say that's so important?
I don't know.
He was like, yeah, it started here, da-da-da. But, boring. And then he was like, we warned people. And everybody thought they should go to a bar and get drunk.
That's what I do during a storm.
I just don't get it all. I know. But, yeah, so I couldn't even listen to that.
Yeah, the whole thing was silly.
It's silly.
Sorry,
I want Brian Higgins.
Who the hell's Brian Higgins?
He's a shady one that was at the house, and he went to the Canton Police Department instead of going home that night.
Oh, that guy? Okay.
With the dog, now we think.
And the shoe.
The shoe. I think the dog might have ingested the shoe.
Maybe.
This is really weird, though. The whole thing. The more I think about it.
Everything about it is.
The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, what the hell?
It's all nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. We've been blabbing on.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
We have another episode to do. We need to wrap this up.
We do. Okay. I have a quote from a guy named Charles Dudley Warner, who I had to look him up. I didn't know who he was. I don't like to quote people. Unlike you, I need to know who.
Yeah, I don't care.
So he was an American essayist, novelist, and friend of Mark Twain. with whom he co-authored the novel, The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today. And he's the guy that said politics makes strange bedfellows.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's the quote, and it's in honor of Jen McCabe. People always overdo the matter when they attempt deception.
Oh.
See, because she is overdoing it.
That's true.
Yeah.
They always say liars will just keep giving.
They got to keep going.
Yeah.
Because they just have to make sure they not
So
confident
stupid.
in their lie enough, Yes.
Okay. I have a couple that probably don't have to do it, but I don't care.
That's
so.
okay. Uh-oh.
The first one is Truman Capote. And it says, I don't care what anybody says about me as long as it isn't true. And Bill Waterston, who does Calvin and Hobbes.
Okay.
Which I just love that. But whatever. Reality continues to ruin my life.
Well, that might be for Jen McCabe as well.
Yes.
Everybody in this trial,
Everybody.
the whole prosecution and all their witnesses.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And again, this has been a special, very long pop-up episode
Good Lord.
about the Karen Reed trial. What do I always say in the end? Adieu.
Oh, okay. What do I say? Good day.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets, with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.